the opportunity.
Ben Geyer is a toy industry celebrity, a legend.
Wow, Bob. What do you think about that? That was pretty good, right?
I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
It was, I mean, right? Like, going into it, you were like, oh, 12 minutes. Really, Eric? Another one of your long productions here? But it was worth it, right?
It makes me think back of all the fun times we've had here.
We have. Come here. Come to Papa. No, you're not coming to Papa? All right, we're not there yet. Okay, that's fine. But
we already had a phone hug today.
We did have a phone hug. In all honesty, though, I want to thank everyone. I think I've sent out a couple of emails thanking everyone, personally. But honestly, thanks for a great season. We had a fun time. We have fun here. Obviously, we have a pretty hardcore mega league, but as Professor Dwyer stated a couple of weeks ago, it's not really about. I mean, obviously, we all try to win. That's kind of the point. But we all enjoy each other. We all have fun, we're all, now kind of know each other and like being, ragging on each other, having fun and playing fantasy, and it's good to do that. Bub, want to give you a special thank you. Obviously, it's easy for me just to kind of come down into my basement here at Real Studios and do the podcast, but you have to travel, across town every week, so it's harder for you, and you've been very accommodating, very, you haven't canceled out last minute or anything, and it was very much appreciated how easy you made this on me, and I think all of our listeners absolutely loved, which was your idea, to have, banter and co-hosts as opposed to just my monotonous voice. So thanks for the podcast, and thanks for everything else that you do with the league.
Oh, no problem. It's a little weird that every time you make me take my clothes off.
It's clearly stated, and it says it in your contract right before we started the season that it's not just you have your pants on. We're just shirtless here. Becky's shirtless. Becky, but God damn it, Becky! I told you, you fucking whore. Look at her, bro. She's wearing her bra again.
She's a dirty whore.
Fucking slut. Anyway, thanks to everybody, Bub. Special thanks to you. I guess our next Dynasty event is going to be the Super Bowl, where we have our Super Bowl predictions, which help assist determine the draft order. So I'll be contacting you that, I guess everyone other than the folks that made the playoffs and Jay Young, who got a warning. So that will, the Super Bowl predictions will assist in making the draft order. And then the two coaches, I guess between Zach, John, and Ben, between those three coaches who are in Tier 1, whoever, two of those three that get the that win the Super Bowl predictions, those are the two coaches who will be fighting for the number one pick in the D10 draft. And I guess, Bub, our next podcast will probably be sometime after the Super Bowl, maybe early mid-February. We'll schedule it where we'll have those two coaches on the show to partake in our Dynasty Trivia contest. So that we can look forward to that. So I guess it's not goodbye until next season. We will have another podcast around that time. And then probably following that podcast is when we'll maybe start up the Dynasty board member meetings. So I guess that will probably be occurring starting up in mid-end February, which usually we try to have that last good couple of months at least, try to bring us into maybe the beginning of the summer. So with that being said, if anybody has any suggestions, ideas, topics of how to make the Dynasty better, please feel free to contact either me or Bub or anyone in the board members with your ideas. We love to hear ways of making the league better. Well, Bub, I guess one other thing, the Dynasty, we're now heading into Dynasty 10, our 10th season. It's going to be a big year for us. We're hopeful in trying to get a league trip of some sort. Brian is going to be spearheading that, going to maybe an away Patriots game somewhere, Buffalo, New York, somewhere local. We don't know yet, but we'll probably have some more information in April when the NFL schedule is released. So we will be in touch with you, around that time. And then the Dynasty 10 draft, which is already scheduled for either Saturday, August 31st, or Sunday, September 1st. Mark your schedules. Do what you need to do. To get clearance. And obviously, weddings or deaths or things may come up from now until then. If they do, I just ask for you to try to be as, accommodating and let me know as soon as you can. It's probably the worst part of my job is scheduling the draft. So just do what you can to be normal and human and kind. So I guess that's gonna wrap it up, Bub. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank Tom Berkowitz Trucking. I'd like to thank our new champion, Coach Chris Heney. I'd like to obviously thank Jimmy Berkowitz. That was a great interview with him. Surprised to hear their profits weren't a little bit better than expected, but
I know.
I'd like to thank all of you for listening all season long.
As previously mentioned, please enjoy the sponsorship montage in just a few moments at the end of this show.
Yes, it's a good little, kind of like the other one. It's worth the listen. Well, I guess until next time, this is your perfect Commissioner Rank, Commissioner Scooper.
And this is Fred Johnson.
Fred Johnson is over and out.
This is reigning Pick'em champion Coach J. Young Kim of the Yellow Peril, and this ridiculous episode of the Dynasty Podcast was brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. The sons of bitches provide quality service to residential and commercial clients. Don't miss out. Tom Berkowitz Trucking.
This is Dynasty Achievements Analyst Coach Chris Heney of VIP on Swole. And this fascinating episode of the Dynasty Podcast is brought to you by the one, the only, Tom Berkowitz Trucking. Dependable trash removal service at a great price. It doesn't get any goddamn simpler. Tom Berkowitz Trucking is the way to go, bitches.
This is Dynasty IX Champion Coach Zach Palucha of Handy Quacks, and this amazing episode of the Dynasty Podcast was brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. Located on 279 Douglas Road in Whitensville, you are a scumbag if you are not using Tom Berkowitz Trucking for your garbage needs.
This is Coach Ben Green of the Boston Loggers, and this wonderful episode of the Dynasty Podcast was brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. Serving all of Riverdale since 1981, Tom Berkowitz Trucking is a proud member of the Blackstone Valley Referral Network, and I'm not wearing any pants. Tom Berkowitz Trucking, taking names and kicking ass.
And week 2 here in our league, brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking, by the way, Bub.
Great trash removal.
They make it simple.
This is your reigning Dynasty Champion, Coach John Costanza of the Amber Alerts, and this incredible episode of the Dynasty Podcast was brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. When I'm not stealing kids, I'm using Tom Berkowitz Trucking, because they don't question body bags.
This is Dynasty